Hello ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another vlog. Any followers of the vlog will know that I've been gone for a little while. This is because I've been working on projects that I've mentioned in previous vlogs, so hopefully you're all expecting it. And also you've probably seen the new animations that have been popping up, including stuff like this. Admittedly not some of my greatest work, but it was just to fill briefs and I think I did that. Hopefully I'll be finding out in a week whether or not I pass. If I do pass, I then start work on my final major project, or FMP. Each year the class is given a different phrase. Once it was Alice in Wonderland, another time it was Another World. This time it is Random Logic, which is a bit of a strange one and has been taxing my brain on how to interpret it. And that's the only limitation we're given. We can really use that word, or words, however we want. We could even just take one of the words, random or logic, and use that. And as I want to be an animator, my task is to make an animation based around this phrase that we've been given. Now, the big problem is when you decide to actually Google random logic and discover that the only time that term ever really exists is in making circuit boards. And I have zero intention of animating circuit boards, because they're not animated. It would be very boring, or I could make a Tron. So I've started to look at random logic as something that you would apply to human beings, emotions, fears, things like that. Stuff that makes sense to the person, but from an outside view it just seems completely illogical and, well, random. The three key topics I've picked up on for this would be the fear of death, which I think we all fear it in some way, unless we're suicidal or something. Second one would be love, which is a very interesting emotion as it is a chemical thing. It's not just entirely within our own psyches, it does actually exist on a scientific level, but there's no real reason for it. When you look at nature, there is no real need for love. There's some creatures that have it, but an awful lot of the time you just have the mate and you're the biggest, scariest one, so everyone comes over to you for a little bit of, happy times. The third one, and the one that I think applies to us all at some point in our lives, and is probably the one that I'm going to go for, is the concept of taking risks. I don't mean things like bungee jumping, and I can't think of anything else risky. This is how gripping my life is. I'm talking more in the sense of telling someone that you like them even though you have no idea how they feel back. I said that as if I was about to list others. To be honest, I'm not. That's actually the one I'm going to be going with. The reason I've picked this is because it's something that's affected my personal life many, many times. There's been numerous occasions where I've liked someone and I've never had the heart to tell them, and there's always that little nagging thing in the back of your head saying, what if you had? And I get the feeling I'm not the only person in creation who's actually gone through this multiple times. I'm pretty sure it's one of the human conditions, if you will. So, I'm 1 week into the project already, because we have to start work on it even if, we don't know whether or not we're passed yet, which is kind of cruel. And already I've come up with my basic idea. Now I need to start working on character development, fleshing stuff out to be like this. Hello! I also need to start working on a script, something that I'm not really overly good at, so this should be the fun part. And then I need to storyboard. I've got another 11 weeks to have this done, and then it will actually be displayed in a end-of-year show where lots of people will be coming around, including people who will be marking the work. So I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also a bit confident. I know my way around Flash, so I should be able to animate this, and things like the written stuff. I've got friends who will help me out. Audio-wise, things are a little bit more tricky. I don't know that many people who are involved in sound, and the ones I do know are up to their eyeballs in work right now, so I can't really ask them for free help. So I will throw this out there. If you are a musician, if you can write music, and if you've got an eye for putting emotion into music to match some kind of video that's going on, please contact me. I will say now there is no pay, but you will be fully credited and you will be allowed to keep ownership of your song, of course. Needless to say, if your work is good enough, then when it comes to my final major project of my degree, where I do have a budget, I will be coming to you for paid work. So there is a reason for this long-ass story about complete boringness that none of you care about. Because of this, I'm not actually going to be around an awful lot to update with vlogs. It's going to be as quiet as it has been the last few weeks. I'll try to get something out every now and then, and when I do test animations and things like that, of course they'll go up on the channel. But don't expect a huge amount of content over the next 2-3 months, because this is really going to tax my time. So that's about it from me. I hope you all have a lovely British Mother's Day, and if I don't get a vlog up by then, I hope you all have a wonderful Easter, and I shall update soon. Ta-da!